Gentlemen, after the protests successfully occurred and Parliament was occupied by the Gen Zs and millennials in Kenya, the president came out to give a speech looking very sad. On that night at 9 p.m., the president came out on a grey suit, black tie, I think, speaking to the government, to the public, saying that those criminals who went to Parliament was very specific. And then now, later on, the people of the president started speaking and say that there were allegations that people at a certain quarter were planning to overthrow the government. Now, these were very heavy allegations. And then, of late, I've been sitting down to imagine and think about this. Why could the president say that? Who told the president to say this? Could the president say this without any serious information about it? No. This is a person who is always informed by the intelligence of Kenya on what happens each and every second. So therefore, I can confirm here, I can comfortably speak authoritatively that the president knew what he was talking about. Also, another thing, it was very clear that the president also said that they tried their best to manage what was supposed to happen at Parliament buildings. Why am I saying so? The president said that despite the people who were shot, there were many more things that could have happened, and the police did their best to restrain themselves from what was happening. Also, if you check this very clear, there were snipers, to be very honest, that were in Parliament buildings who were bringing down these Gen Zs and millennials, which was a very wrong thing that we castigate and with the strongest terms possible on this channel. It was not right to attack somebody who was harmless, particularly using a sniper or even a live bullet. But still, nevertheless, it happened. But the president came out and they said very well there were criminals who occupied Parliament. Gen Zs were there, people were there, but the people who occupied Parliament, according to the president, they were criminals. And from what was coming out, it is that there were plans to overthrow William Ruto's government. Therefore, it came to me today that who could be the person who wanted to overthrow William Ruto and then take over Parliament, take over the government? Who was this supposed to be bestowed those powers? What could have happened? How was it supposed to happen? Before I dissect on this topic, kindly on the overthrowing of William Ruto's government, kindly if this is the first time you're watching our videos, make sure to subscribe, like, and comment, because that's the best support you can always give this channel. Now, who wanted to overthrow the government? Let me first take you back slightly and share with you some of the insights, the things that were crossing my mind, and maybe perhaps you can also give your own judgment. Ogolla was killed. And the rumors were that he was killed by the people in government. But it was very clear that the government said, William Ruto himself said, there were going to be investigations being carried out to ascertain what happened to Ogolla's chopper that resulted to his death. Now, during this time, of course, people were speaking things right and left and center. And most people, actually, some people from government like Aden Duale came out to defend the government or the president and said that even the son of Ogolla said that the president and his fathers were so much in good terms and they were very good friends. Therefore, people are raising questions. Why could William Ruto get rid of him? Now, people were asking questions right, left, and center. And personally, I feel that it was okay for people to ask the questions because there were allegations from William Ruto and his team that Ogolla wanted to overturn the results at Bomas of Kenya. So therefore, it was okay for Kenyans to ask these questions. But as for me, I want to ask myself this. How could William Ruto gain from the death of Ogolla? Because checking on the person who was, if it was a tribal way of managing the Kenyan Defense Forces, probably then Akalenjin was supposed to take over government after that. But that did not happen. Then who was supposed to, why could William Ruto, who could have killed Ogolla? Now, despite the investigations that are going on, I personally feel that this was a strong connection to William Ruto's statements that the government was being overthrown. Why am I saying so? If you check closely, when a coup is happening in the country, there must be involvement of the army. Either the army is divided or it's working in unison to ensure that they have thrown the government from power. Now, who overthrows the government? Either the army itself or someone outside the army working with the army to take power. Then who was this doing that? Who was this planning to take power from William Ruto? That is what I want to see in your comment sections. Because I personally feel the allegations that there were attempts to throw government are very serious. This is something that is never mentioned such easily until there's solid evidence that that was happening. Another thing has come out now. The impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua. These are occurrences that I personally feel they are either correlated or they are not just for coincidence. As someone says, In politics, things never happen by coincidence. They are well planned, well executed. So therefore, I want to ask this question. Who do you think planned to overthrow the government? Could it be the Gen Zs planning to overthrow the government and take over power? No, they didn't have the capacity. These people were just airing their issues in public and saying, reject the finance bill 2024 because it's hurting us. But then, according to the government people, it's that some people took advantage of the protest to say this is the right moment to switch and take over the government. Then who was that? Who was this person trying to overthrow the government? Now, as we talk right now in the country, it is very clear that the government is being very cautious. We had actually during that time, after the occupation of parliament, the army coming to the streets the following day. They took vigil. They were moving around the city, ensuring that there is an order in the city. And that one actually happened despite there were challenges in court. It was being challenged, the decision was being challenged in court. Still, they were moving around asking, ensuring that there's order, and the police had received whichever help they needed at that time to ensure that no one is hurt and there's order in the city. So therefore, following such kind of developments, it was very clear that the president was aware of what he was saying, that in the country there was a planned coup that was supposed to take place, and it was thwarted by, of course, maybe the involvement of the police or the intelligence of the government. I want you to imagine, Raila had already been given a chance. We are going to do an elimination method on this place to find the person. Or to give an idea, Raila was already in an agreement with William Ruto to be supported to go to the AU. Could he the person? For me, no. Another thing, William Ruto is in power. Is the president of the Republic of Kenya. Could he overthrow himself? No. Checking within the circle, could we be somebody close to the president? There's another idea that came to my mind here. When I heard there's a reshuffle of the cabinet, when Aden Duale was transferred from the docket of the defense and Supan Trio was taken there, I said in one video that there was an issue of to-do loyalty. Could it be something involving the coup that was almost happening in the country? I don't want to say much about this because this is a critical matter that needs to be properly analyzed, and maybe facts will be tabled. But on this channel here, we're just doing an analysis to show you, to try to come up with the idea of the president was talking about, that there was a probable criminals who had planned to go to parliament and burn it down. But unfortunately, the plan was thwarted by the government security agencies. Now, that is what I want to just say here. But before I finish this topic, this video, if this is the first time you're watching our videos, make sure that you subscribe, like, and comment, because that's the best support you can always give this channel. And in our analysis, we encourage you guys to reach out. There's a number there that we have on our bio. In case of anything, just reach out and share with us on what is your opinion. My name is Abel Mukwa. See you next time for the same videos.